Okay. I had a little incident with a car door the other day. I was going in to get my books. I have no idea. I've done it before and I still haven't figured it out how I did it, but I did it. I've also done behind the ear, and I'm trying to figure out how someone gets the top of the door, not the bottom of the door, but the top of the door behind the ear. I have no idea how I did it. No idea in the world. But anyways, so that's what happened. Me in a car door. Because I was in a rush. It was raining. Wanted to grab my books, get in the house. So that's what happened. And I'm really lucky. There's no black and blue. There's no black eye. Nothing got swollen. So I'm really lucky. It's just a little cut. So anyways, if you could hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. This is the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music. And I got this really good idea. At least I thought it was a really good idea. Top 10. Excuse me. It's a little bigger than 10. Authors that day one I'm at the store. Or used to be at the store. Now it's Amazon. But back in the day, be at Barnes & Noble at 9 a.m. when they opened up on the day the book came out. And in later years, there's a couple of authors, and I'll explain about that later, where I would go, and they hadn't even unpacked the boxes yet. And that's how slowly Barnes & Noble lost customers. Not only that, but they made their store smaller. So not only did they shrink their inventory by over 50%, they went to the display. It's all about the display now. I'd rather you have the product than your display. I'm just saying. And if you excuse me just a second. My nose is bad today. So, in no particular order, and I'm probably going to screw this up. I'm going to watch this back and I'm going to go, oh, good God, why? So, anyways, I may do a part 2 next week of different other authors, because the list, I could not believe how long my list is of authors that I buy on the first day. It's a really long list. And keep in mind, I'm a series person. I like series books. So it's a series. I'm going to buy it, whether it's good or not, whether its reviews are good. I am still going to buy that book because it's by my author and it's my characters are in it, and I want to know what's going on with my characters. So that's my thing. So, no particular order here. We'll try and save the best ones for last, because some of the last 2 or 3 are exceptional. So one series, just gonna do these one at a time. Kathy Reichs. We will always do her books on this channel. We have done quite a few. I'm almost I have to go. I forget how many I've done, but I've done quite a few of them. And if you are, and also, I didn't bring it over because while she's an author that I will be purchasing, I'm not purchasing her on the first day. And here again, here's one of those instances where I wish I would have picked it up to show you. But Tess Garrison is also an author that I purchase quite often. Not on the day it comes out, though. I'm more likely to get her on the day she comes out than Tess Garrison, but I will be buying Tess Garrison. So that's how I narrowed down my list. But if you've watched the TV show Bones, that's Kathy Reichs. Now, the TV show Bones, I like the relationship between Bones and Booth quite a bit. um, the relationship in this book, Brian, Ryan, Andrew Ryan, that's it, Ryan, is not the same between him, and they call her Temperance in this, or he calls her Tempe. Not the same, but they still solve cases together, and they still go back and forth from Canada to the United States, and she travels all over. But they still work together, and they're still struggling with the relationship. But that's the Kathy Reichs book. Okay. There are several series by this author. I have not read them all. I'm planning to eventually. Especially the Walker Sheriff Brady. Sheriff Brady or Walker, one of the two. The lady that's out in Arizona. The one book that I will buy the day it comes out is J.P. Beaumont. And I know his time is coming to an end soon. I wrote it down, and now I lost my paper, so I have no idea where my paper is. It's just so. Let me see. No, this isn't the paper. I wrote it down. There's 20 plus books in the series, but the J.P. Beaumont's getting a little on the elderly side, so his time is probably coming to an end soon. But he is, or was, or the series starts out as he is a detective in the Seattle Police Department, and he first couple books detectiving, then he meets this lady. Oh, I forgot her name right off the him. I want to say Carlisle, but it's not Carlisle. It's something else. And it'll come to me later tonight at 3:00 in the morning. But this lady changes his life and gives him a whole bunch of money, and the cops resent him and stuff like that. Then he moves on, I believe, to the governor's detective. It's the Special Homicide Investigation Unit, and they make fun of the fact that it's SHIT for quite a few books. And then he does another thing, another agency. I forget what it was off the top of my head. Then he retires and he becomes a private investigator. But through all this time, his friends, his coworkers, the relationships, the family relationships change. People come into the group, they get new characters. I love watching the character progression, his relationship with his son and daughter. And the daughter is it's a little hard to get through with her, but he finally establishes a relationship with her. The first wife and the second wife and the third wife, there's issues with all of them. Stuff happens, major issues with all of them. But the third one is the best. I like her the best. Excuse me a second. Oh, I should really wait a second. Let me just do this. And he loses coworkers tragically, and he has to live with the guilt of that for a while. He has to get through it, see some therapists for a little bit. And Ron Peters becomes one of his best friends, and his lawyer guy, I forget his name, also becomes a really good friend and confidant for him over the years. So, and this is a really good series, watching JP go from the detective all the way through to the private detective area and watch his life grow. So those are books that I will always buy. Alright. Don't fall on me. Alright, this is the first book in the series. No, wait, I picked up the wrong one. That's a Royal Spinus. We're going to be reading this one on the series. That's why I'm gathering them. I haven't read them yet. We're going to read those. Molly. She starts off in Ireland, and she gets forcibly, or attempts to be forcibly abused, and she defends herself. She thinks she kills the guy, but she didn't, but she thinks she does. She runs off. She wants to get to America, but she doesn't have enough money to get to America. She runs into this lady, and the lady is terminally ill, and the lady gives Molly her tickets on the ship, and she says, "Take my children to America. Their father is there." And so Molly does that, takes her name, takes her all her identity, goes to New York, and then she starts off as private. She tries to get a job with a private investigator, and after a couple of books, the private investigator gets killed. So Molly just takes over his business, and she becomes really, really good. And during that point, she meets Daniel, and a relationship goes through there. And also Gus and Sis, and her neighbors, Gus and Sid, and they have a unique relationship. And these are a great series. Watching Molly solve a case each book, and dealing with her neighbors and the mother-in-law. Eventually, the mother-in-law. It takes It takes a few books to get through that, and she's still investigating. I liked the author, and she started writing with her daughter. So I wish that would have happened with another one of my authors. I don't know what the situation is there, but I have this other author that up until this year I would pre-order. I wanted this author so bad. I bought all her books at the same time because I read one and I got hooked on it. And I even not only did I did all the books in the series, but I also did a special on Mrs. Ellsworth. And that would be Miss Victoria Thompson. This is the first book. And I highly, 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 highly recommend this series. If you haven't, I don't know why this piece of paper is in here. If you haven't seen my videos on Victoria Thompson, please go watch those. All of them. Do them in order. Watch Sarah Brandt and Frank Malloy get close. Watch them solve murder mysteries, each and every book. Sarah Brandt starts out as a midwife. Frank Malloy starts as a detective in New York City. And she's estranged from her parents when the series starts. And then she eventually works her way back into her parents. Her parents work their way back into her graces, I should say. They mend fences and their relationships grow. And in book 17, and if you read these books, and not the first few so much, but in later books, there's an author note at the end of the book. I loved those author notes. I just loved them. I used to read them so if you go watch my videos, I will read the author notes at the end of the videos. And Gino, it's a little crew. It's a small cast, so you can keep track of them. And they're just awesome. This is the best series. And I did a video several weeks ago, author frustration. And she was one of the authors that I was very, very upset about when I learned that I went looking to see if she was going to have a new book. I just broke a nail. And, let's pull this off. It's not coming. Just going to drive me crazy the whole video. I went looking to see when her book for 2026 would come out, and I've discovered that she is deceased now. So up until this point, I was pre-ordering her books because I loved them so much. And if anybody would if they could be ghostwriter, but ghostwrite it the way she would want it, that would be good. But otherwise, we're finished with the series. But it broke my heart when I found out that she had passed away. Another author that's new to me was Fiona Buckley, and she also passed away, and that was heart-wrenching. Another author that I'm pre-ordering, C.S. Harris. The Viscount, Sebastian St. Cyr. He's a Viscount, and then he has a friend who's the coroner, so he does the autopsies, what they would do in 1800 autopsies. And the books progress, and he ends up marrying Hero. That's her name. And Hero's father is his arch enemy. And Sebastian goes through a really serious thing with his dad. The lies in his family, it's like a soap opera. It's truly like a soap opera. just, you have to read the books in order for the character progression. But he deals with his father, and up into this book, him and his father are starting to talk a little bit and communicate a little bit better each book. But they had a few books there where it was just the cement wall was between them, but it's starting to crumble pretty good now. But the lies his father told, it just to manipulate him, was just so you'll have to read all the books to find out about those lies about the lady Sebastian was seeing, this lady, and the way his father left it was that he was sleeping with his sister. And we, the public, we, the reader, are told immediately thereafter, in the next chapter, that the father lied. So we're not left hanging that it's an incestuous relationship. We're left with, we know it's a lie, but Sebastian has to live with it for a little bit, and it takes him a few to figure it out. So that's their story. I love Sebastian. I will be buying that book. Another author that I buy. This is the first one in the series, Krista Davis. Sophie is an event coordinator, and she also writes a Dear Abby type column, advice column on how to prepare foods or how to prepare a table or something like that. And she deals with Natasha, who also has a column. And the stuff that Natasha writes is just, it's hysterical. I did a whole thing on this series, so please, I did all of these books, so please go check them out. We also get to meet, it's Natasha is the other critic, Nina, Wolf, Mars, Francine, Bernie, Daisy the dog, Moochie her cat, Humphreys the mortician, and Alex is the German. It's an awesome series. I love the little tidbits, the little advice in the columns. These are just awesome. She solves a murder mystery each book, but it's the character progression. They get to be like family. Another book. Where did I just put it? That just had it. Oh, here it is. Another book that I have just absolutely fallen in love with is the a Booktown mystery series. What's her name? I didn't write it down. Trisha Miles has a bookstore. Haven't got a clue. And her sister Angelica, who has several stores. And Trisha is in the dark for quite a few books until the secret comes out and she confesses to Trisha. And Trisha's like, "Oh, good God, why did I not see that?" It's like, "It's right here, Trisha. It's right here. Why don't you see it?" But she doesn't see it. And the older gentleman and Pixie at first, you hate Pixie in the first two books, that you meet Pixie, you really, really dislike this chick. She causes havoc, and you just want to hit her. And then she slowly progresses, and now she's a really lovable character. And Angelica has confessed her secret to Trisha, and that brings in a whole bunch of additional people into your main character group. Trisha also solves a murder mystery each book. The twists and turns with the cops is really interesting. That will just throw you for a huge loop in the book that it occurs. It'll come out of left field. You won't see it coming, the twist in that book. But this is an awesome series. Another series that I am actively buying, what's her name? uh, Lindsay Lindsay Norris moves to the Briar Creek Library to take over as librarian, and she gets some resistance from some of the employees, but she eventually wins them over. And we have Anne Marie, Miss Eugene Cole, who is an adversary, but eventually begins to warm to Lindsay. Beth is the children's librarian. Paula, Violet, Nancy, Sully becomes her husband eventually. Milton and Robbie Vine and Emma is the sheriff, and they solve a murder mystery each and every book, and these are awesome. And we will talk about these in cozies. I think we did these in library books too, and murders in libraries and bookstores. Another one of my books that I'm buying actively is Rosemary Simpson's Gilded Age series, and this is with Prudence McKenzie in New York City. You'll watch my videos, and I'm a little massively pissed off because the author attempts to do the Need a Chaperone stuff, and it becomes such inconsistency in it. It really pisses you off, and the author just finally throws it away. She gets a job working for a detective law firm, and she earns her law degree, and they solve murder mysteries each book, and there's a little bit of a romance that takes excruciatingly long to get into. The author just drags it out to the last possible moment. And I think it was just in the last book that the question was raised. But they solve a murder mystery in New York City each and every book, like Molly Rice Bowman's Molly Murphy series, and like Victoria Thompson's Gaslight series. We also have Darcy Wilde, and this is the Useful Woman series. And in the beginning, I was rooting for her to get well acquainted with the Duke, so she could have the prestige of being a duchess and do her. But then, of course, the duchess couldn't do these investigations, although she could use her influence to do the investigations. No one would tell her not. She couldn't do it. But she ended up breaking it off with the Duke, and she's now sort of kind of dating the Bow Street Runner, ex-Bow Street Runner. And she's got two friends that work in the publishing company with a newspaper. So, and this takes place in the 1800s in England. And this is an awfully good series. And another series in England is the Andrea Penrose Wexford and Sloane series. And she starts out single, and she's a cartoon artist, political cartoon artist, and she takes in two orphans, and she eventually marries, and they become a family, and some other friends join, and they do solve murder mysteries each book. See, I told you this got out of hand. Alyssa Maxwell, Gilded. There's one of these coming out in August or September of this year. This took a while. Please go watch all my videos on this. What's her name? Emma. Emma. Let's see, what's her name? Emma and her fiance are now serving, mostly her though, mostly her. Her husband runs the newspaper, and it's a really long story, and I'd rather not spoil it all for you. But she starts out as a social columnist, and she wants to be a reporter, and she starts solving murder mysteries each book, and she earns her way into investigative reporter type situation. I should do another one of these on the paranormal side. This lady, I don't know what happened to her. I bought all 6, 7 books, and then she fell off the face of the earth. But you will see my time travel series. If then in a couple of weeks, I'm trying to finish that up now so I can do it. But I need to read one more book. No, 2 more books. before I do this, but this is an awesome. She's from current times. She's an FBI agent. She goes back in time, and she's solving murder mysteries in early, I think it's 1800, 1806, 1807. And these are just awesome. Okay. On the lighter side of town. Oh, wait, one more. Well, it's on the lighter side of town. Meg Langslow. She is single when the series starts. And she starts helping the sheriff, or chief, they call him chief, right? Solve murder mysteries each book. She does ironwork. She creates weather vanes and other type of sculptures. And her family grows. Her relationships in her family grow. She gains a husband and kids along the way, and she gains a larger circle of family and friends and associates as the series goes on. And then she starts working in the mayor's office later on. But all the titles have animal puns. The new one coming out in a couple of weeks is For Duck's Sake. So I'll look for that probably November. Depending if I hold on to it for a Christmas gift, it might be December or January. But I will be reading that book, For Duck's Sake. Oh, and this is in Virginia. This lady. All right, let's do this other lady first. This lady was on. This is the first book in the series. This lady was on my day of buy. She's leaving that list because she is leaving the FBI series. But this is the first book. We are currently reading all these books on the channel. The Catherine Coulter FBI series. Sherlock and Savick, they solve a murder mystery each and every book. They are gained, but sometimes they're solve books together. Sometimes they solve books, investigations apart. Sometimes they call in other FBI agents to do the investigation. Sometimes they investigate in, let's say, California, and another set of people investigate in Washington, D.C. The last book, 26, 25, there's 27 books in the series. And they solve a murder mystery each book, and there is character progression from book to book to book, and they gain a circle of friends, and we gain more FBI people each book. So this was an instant buy until she decided to quit the FBI. So when she quit the FBI and she decided to go back to Regency, she used to be a day of buy with the Regency, but I left her Regency a long time ago. But I was doing the FBIs. But now after book 27, there is no more. But if you want to go watch all my videos, we did all of these for the series. Another lady that we are still purchasing, the day she comes out. She's been a November issuer of books for a very, very long time. Her books always come out in November. I'm very sorry that this character won't be out in November. Her new character, I think it's Rose or something. She's not a bounty hunter, but she's a recovery agent. I think that's what that's called. I forget. But anyway, Stephanie Plum. I don't know why. I have 2 copies. But Stephanie Plum is a bounty hunter. She works with her cousin Vinny. Lula is her sidekick. Connie is the office manager. Morelli and Ranger are her 2 love interests, who are off and on, off and on, off and on, off and on. And book 30, actually 31, Now or Never, is sort of kind of a payoff, sort of kind of, but we won't know till next year because this year's is not the Stephanie book, it's a different book. And that really bites big time that there's no Stephanie this year. The last line of Now or Never is, "This is not the end." But it is a huge, big delay if you're going to make us wait 2 years to get the next book. But these are funny. These are down and out the funniest books you've ever read in your life. If you're going through a really hard time in life, and I was trying to do a video on these, and I just couldn't. It's like I've done all 30 books, all 31 books. So please go watch all those videos. I read some of the passages out. And please hit the like and subscribe. But Stephanie is just a trip, and her mom and dad, the Sunday dinners, the pot roast, the gravy, the cold cuts, the traditions, her mother's ironing, Grandma Mazur. It's just an awesome series, and they do solve mysteries each book, missing person mysteries or murder mysteries or stuff like that. It's PG. It's all clean. All right. I want to leave this because this is my placeholder for a future thing. But anyway, this is another author. As soon as she recovers, she's going through a personal. Her husband passed away, but we are all anxiously waiting for her next book, and we will all buy it instantly. Fortune is a former CIA agent who went to Louisiana to hide out at her boss's suggestion, and she had a price on her head, and we follow that storyline through, and it finally ends, and she decides to settle in Louisiana anyway, because she's gotten to know the people, she's established relationships, she's got friends, Manny, Herberts, Gertie, Ida Bell, Walter, love interest of Carter, Allie. So she's got a close knit of really good friends, and these are very, very, very funny. I'm gonna do a video soon. See if I can read this chapter without laughing my head off. We'll see what happens. Alright. We're gonna do, I should do a, you know what? I'm gonna do the paranormals for a paranormal side. But I wanted to do these last two authors. One of these authors will, these are for next, I forgot about this. Sarah Booth and Tinky Bell, solve murder mysteries in the South. And she takes her dogs and her cats with her as she solves murder mysteries. Sometimes I'm like, huh? But she does, and she's forever working them into the story, working them in to be heroes. So these are cute. These will also make you laugh a little bit, but they're really easy. Good afternoon read, good beach read, no heavy emotional involvement. And the fact that she takes her animals everywhere is just crack. She's like, you're sitting there going, huh, really? But hey, live with it. These are really good, easy books to get into. Like I said, the other, we'll do a purchase of paranormals, and I will do these books again. But we'll end with my favorite author of all time, J.D. Robb. Eve Dallas is a lieutenant in the New York City Police and Security Department. Her boss is Whitney. Tibble's up there. Feeney is the captain in EDD. Yes, ma'am. Do you want to come up? Peabody is her partner. Rourke is her husband. McNabb is Peabody's personal partner, but he's also a detective in the Electronic Division Department. Mira is the department shrink. Trueheart and Baxter are people that work for her. Somerset is Rourke's major domo. Galahad is the cop. Nadine is the reporter, who also eventually gets her own show. I'm trying to figure out how to do these books again. I've done them all, and I want to do them again for the holidays, although it'll probably end up being broadcast after the holidays. But these are my get through the holiday books, because the holidays time is a hard time for me. So, Eve Dallas solves a murder mystery each and every book. She has some childhood trauma she has to get through, and it takes a long time. There are 60 books. I reviewed all of them, even the in between novellas, because in the beginning she used to write 4 J.D. Robb books and 3 Noras a year. She's still doing the 3 Noras, but now she's only doing 2 J.D.s. But she used to do 4. 2 were hardcover, 2 were novellas. She stopped doing novellas. But when I did my reading, I read them in order, so all the novellas are there too. And I'm trying to figure out how to do these again, without repeating myself, but I probably will. This is the best series ever in the whole world. I just love the chemistry between the characters and the character progression from book to book to book. And remember, there may have been 60 books in the series, but it's only been about 4 years in book years, character years. It's just, I just love these books. And as far as you know, Eve will never get another visitor's chair. And there's also the candy thief you have to beware of. So if you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.